Hi, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about building your strategy for internships and job searches. So just know, career success rarely happens by accident. It's built through strategy, consistency, and relationships. Let's dive in. Okay, so the hidden job market is real. Just based off this picture, we can see 70 to 80% of jobs and internships are never publicly posted. What does that mean? Many opportunities are coming through networking, referrals, alumni connections, recruiters, conferences, professors, informational interviews. That's a really big one. And so the big takeaway here is network, network, network. And applying online alone is not a strategy. We have students all the time who will talk about how disappointed they are because they've applied to over 100 to 200 to 300 internships or jobs, just blindly applying on LinkedIn and clicking the quick apply. And that is just not the way to go. These days, it is so competitive. So it really is important about who you know. So the first strategy that we're going to talk about today is network early and consistency. So again, networking is not optional. You have to do that, and you have to start on day one. Relationships compound over time. And networking, it doesn't mean you're asking for a job. It just means you're learning about other people and getting to know them. The best way to succeed in this is by time blocking 1 to 2 hours weekly for networking. So in your calendar, you're going to time block. Maybe Fridays are your lighter days. So in the mornings from 9 to 10, every single week, you're going to dedicate that time to networking. And that can look like LinkedIn outreach, coffee chats, alumni conversations, employer events. You could do, job or internship follow-up emails, informational interviews, conferences, alumni panels, professor emails, or just reaching out to second-year students. We're going to talk about informational interviews in another session, but that really is the key tip here. Informational interviews is a way to ask someone in an industry, what they do, what their day-to-day looks like. It's not asking them for a job. It's asking them what they do for a living and just making that connection. So just note that students who network consistently are often the students who hear about opportunities first. One more note that I will mention on this slide is the students who come to the Career and Professional Development Center regularly, meaning coming by to knock on our doors, say hello, tell us your name, tell us how your week is going. Those are the students that we're going to remember and think of as opportunities arise because we know you and we know your career goals. So make a point to stop by the Career Center at least once a quarter. If you're not coming once a quarter, we don't know who you are. Okay, now let's talk about what good networking actually looks like. So again, we want curiosity and consistency. So good networking. During those informational interviews, you want to be asking thoughtful questions. You want to be following up after the conversation. You want to stay in touch. So if there's a connection that you make in the fall, maybe towards the beginning of the winter quarter, you reflect back and just send them a very short LinkedIn message saying, just finished the fall quarter. This project went really well. Really looking forward to the winter quarter. Maybe we can catch up and talk about it. Just that consistency really goes a long way and will differentiate yourself against all the competition. You want to learn about the different industries and you want to build genuine connections. So bad networking is reaching out to someone and just flatly asking, can you get me a job? The answer will probably be no, or you will be ghosted because they have no idea who you are. Why would they help you? So also when you are reaching out to people, try really hard not to be desperate and try to not mass message strangers that you don't know the same message. Strategy number 2, one of the most important ones is get organized. Again, we have students coming into the Career Center saying, help, I applied to over 100 or 200 or 300 internships. And one of the questions we'll ask them is, how was this specific application and what interested you? And a student can't even answer that question because they have no idea what they applied to. So we do have an internship application tracker. You can click on it here. It's also going to be in the resource library of GPS careers. And it's a really good way for you to keep track of all of the different opportunities you've applied to in detail. Because when you do get that follow-up message and get asked for an interview, you have your notes to look back on and compare. What is the salary range for this internship versus this one? What did I think of, this part of the internship versus this one? So keep your notes organized and stay as organized as possible. That's just so important. And also, anytime you have any interviews, whether it's a phone interview or whether it's, a Zoom interview or in person, definitely take notes and keep those notes organized. Strategy number 3, use your resources. You have so many of them here at GPS, so just get started using them right away. And remember, as soon as you graduate from GPS, you become an alumni. And all alumni have access to career resources for life. So get familiar with it while you're here at GPS. So when you become an alumni, you're an expert and you can use it without any help. Again, your main platform that's going to have everything you could ever need is GPS Careers. There's a tutorial video that we give on it. You should check that out. It's got all of our career events and workshops, our applications, our templates, our job and internship opportunities that have been curated just for you by the alumni community, so much more. So check out that site. The other resource that you have that you should be using regularly, again, is our career coaches. So unlike other programs at UCSD or other colleges, you have career coaches that are here just for you, which means they are not helping, Jacobs or Rady or undergraduate students. Their main job is to help GPSers. So yes, we try to say, maybe only schedule one formal appointment a week, but you are more than welcome to come to our offices anytime between 9 to 5. Our doors are always open. We want to hear from you. We want to hear how you're doing. We want to hear if the tests this week have been so hard and your homework has been so heavy that you haven't even had time to apply to things. That's okay. We want to hear from you. And then another resource that's important is LinkedIn, which we will talk a little bit more. So let's talk about LinkedIn. Our career coach is going to dive in much more with LinkedIn, but here's just one slide on it because it is so important that we have to mention it again. LinkedIn is a networking platform first, job board second. Get that into your mind. Again, LinkedIn is for networking mainly, not applying. It's the place where you are telling your story. So you want to work on optimizing your headline. You want to have detailed experiences with exampled projects. You want to connect intentionally with people, connecting, becoming those first connections and then sending messages. You want to engage with content. So all of your cohort, your faculty, your peers, the staff that you're working with, you want to start following them and then engaging with the content that they post. LinkedIn will reward the user that is engaging with it the most. It's part of the algorithm. So make sure you are posting and professionally engaging consistently. Consistently, I would say be on LinkedIn at least once a week. You can schedule time. Again, if your light days are Fridays, schedule just 30 minutes in the morning where you're on there, you're scrolling through your feed, you're responding to your classmates, and maybe you do a post once a month. I think that would be really reasonable. You want to keep your profile picture updated. Make it professional, make it clean. All incoming students are going to have the opportunity to do a professional headshot for free when they come to GPS. So you won't have to worry about, getting a professional photo. We'll get you there. But make sure your banner is nice and clean. We like to recommend that your LinkedIn banner says a little bit about who you are and what you're interested in. We have custom made LinkedIn banners that show you are at UCSD GPS. So you can find those there in the resource library or click on the link in the PowerPoint. We have to talk about AI because how can we not? It is a tool. It is a very powerful tool, but do not let it be a crutch. So with AI, some positive uses of it would be brainstorming networking questions, tailoring your resume to a job description, doing interview prep. This is one of my favorite ways to use AI. I'll put in a job description for a role that I might be thinking of or a student might be thinking of, and I'll say, give me some interview questions you think this job description might ask, and please go hard on me. try to trip me up, try to give me questions that you don't think I could answer. And you can use AI to over prepare for your real interviews. So you're so comfortable and confident when you go into that interview, you've already been answering and practicing with the harder questions. And it's nice to do that verbally and to handwrite out your answers and just get those answers ingrained in your brain as best as possible. Again, you can ask for mock interview questions, industry research, company research, drafting outreach emails as a template. Remember, you want to add your own touch and your own voice. You don't want to sound like a robot. And summarizing job descriptions. You know, you'll be doing so much research and applying to so many different internships and jobs while you're here. You're not going to have time to read through everything. So use AI to really help you time manage and get through things as efficiently as possible. Bad uses of AI is copying generic cover letters word for word. Again, other students are doing that because they're trying to get through things as quickly as possible. You want to be strategic and smart, and you want your personality to shine through. That's what's really going to separate you when you are applying to these jobs. You want to get out of the AI slop that is going out there, and let your personality shine through. A really terrible way to use AI is asking it to come up with fake experiences, both on your LinkedIn, your resume, and perhaps even your cover letter. If you can't speak to these experiences, or you're in an interview and you get tripped up because they ask you something that you don't know because AI made it up for you, that is the easiest way to lose an opportunity. And it's so obvious when it happens. And, you know, people in industries talk. And you have a reputation here at GPS. You're a professional business student. So we want to make sure you're prepared, polished, and yourself. At the end of the day, AI should enhance your strategy, but not replace you. Okay, another really important strategy here for internship and job searching is learn from GPSers, right? You guys are incoming first year. You have a whole cohort ahead of you that just went through this last year with that you are about to go through. So they've been through that fall quarter where QM just like fell into their lap and they had to deal with it. They've been through the winter quarter where we went on all of our outreach trips and they got to visit New York, DC, LA, San Francisco, and they have those experiences. Then they went through the spring quarter where they were applying for internships, getting their summer internship funding, and preparing for the summer. So that's low hanging fruit. That's 150 students that have been in your shoes that you can reach out to and start building your network now. We have a really big popular event coming up called our peer-to-peer panels, where we will have all the second year students who have finished an internship this summer talk to you about their experience and what they learned. And that is low hanging fruit. You're going to hear from these students. You go right up to them after that panel and you say, hey, I'm so-and-so. What you said really spoke to me. What would be your best advice to, start applying to that internship that you did? And become friends with them and get that internship, right away. It happens all the time to the students who are curious and outspoken. We also have another really important tool where you can learn from past GPSers. In the resource library of GPS careers, there is a historical list of every single internship opportunity that our students have had. So there's going to be hundreds of entries in there. Click on that link, check it out. Again, these are companies that have hired GPS students and international students. So that's where I would start my internship search if I were you. They understand your story, they understand your background, make that connection. And I will leave you with some final thoughts because I think this is a very important statement that just needs to be said at some point. True or false, doing an internship is more helpful in securing a job than getting a very high GPA. What do you think? I would say this answer depends on your career. If you're trying to get a PhD and do more education, then yes, absolutely, your GPA matters. But for 90% of you, the rest of you who are coming into this program with the intention of securing an internship and job so you can enter the workforce in 2 years' time, your GPA doesn't matter, okay? You just need to get a 3.0. You need to get by. Of course, we want you to learn your classwork. We want you to engage. We want you to talk to the faculty and to your classmates. We want you to do as well as you can. But you should be allotting some time each week to your career and to your job search, right? So if you're worried about, getting that B versus A, and spending that extra time where you could be getting an A in the class versus trying to apply to internships, I would definitely try to apply to those internships and jobs and network, 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 as opposed to, you know, trying so hard to be a perfectionist and get A pluses. Of course, if you can do it all, do it all. But you got to be kind to yourself, you got to time manage, and you've got to prioritize what matters to you. So yes, for the students that are trying to pursue a PhD, or even go into law school, you know, your GPA will matter, but in every other instance, whatever job you're applying for, they will never ask for your GPA. As long as you get your degree and you pass, they will not care. They care more about the experience and the skills that you're going to get in this classroom that you're going to translate onto your resume as work experience and then talk to in an interview. So that's a lot of information. If you have any questions, talk to any of the career coaches. We're here for you. And we know that you're going to do a fantastic job while you're here at GPS. And it starts now. So start on day one, time block for just a little bit of time each week. It can be as little as 30 minutes a week, very manageable. We know you guys are busy. We know you're, you know, mothers, fathers, daughters, sisters, best friends. We know you've got, some of you are working two jobs already right now. Some of you have another program that you're in. You guys are busy. So be kind to yourself and start now. So in 2 years from now, you're not panicking. And thank you.